Does it get easier?
No. Yes. It gets easier.
Oh, yeah? Look at you.
Thanks. And the more you know who you are and what you want, the less you let things upset you.
Yeah. I just don't know what I'm supposed to be.
Well, if you don't know what you're supposed to be, then, all right, let's start that over. Can we do a redo? Nah, we're not going to do a redo, everybody. This is Nick the Rat Radio. We don't do redos here. We just keep on trucking forward. It's true. But I would just like to say, wow, this is the most off beginning ever. There's gonna be a lot of issues tonight because it's a very dark time in most of our lives. Halloween is over. October is gone. I can't deal with that. We have to wait a whole nother year for this. So let's just jump into a giant bottle of wine. Why not do that? Ooh. Wait, what's going on over here? Ba 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 ba. I'm so confused. Wow, you really should not smoke weed before you do a podcast. This is episode 255 of Nick the Rat Radio. We're going to do it live. Can't get the cork out. Oh, there we go. Whew. All right. We're almost ready to do this show, everybody. The quality of broadcasting that you're getting right now is definitely top dollar. I'm telling you, it's definitely very. We're gonna need to pour a big cup for this one. What are we talking about tonight on Nick the Rat? Oh, I feel so much better after having that guzzle of wine. I was very parched and dry mouth. What will we be talking about? Well, since I'm super depressed from Halloween being over, it was a great Halloween though. You know what? I'm not really depressed. I'm actually just excited for the next one a little bit more. You know, it's there's going to be the next Halloween is going to be crazy, even if it's not on a Saturday, not even if it's like if there's no super blue moon or whatever. Next Halloween, 2021 is going to be the one. I'm telling you, it's going to definitely be the one. But we're going to have open lines tonight. We're going to be discussing a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff I have to talk about that doesn't really fall under a show category. So we're not really doing we're not doing something coherent, I would say. Tonight's going to just be, I'm going to throw it at the wall. And if it sticks, then happy 2020, everybody. It's almost over, though, right? I think so. I think it's almost over. You know what? Let's try to start the show off by not falling apart so fast, by using another artist's work, and it's music. It's very good music. We have a whole bunch of really amazing songs picked out tonight. I'm sure you're gonna be grooving and juking and jiving all night. Yeah. Oh boy. This episode is going real smooth so far. Let's do this with Electronic Senses Nanobits. So here we go. We'll be right back. I'll fix this.
You're building a rat ship here.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. That was a great song by Electronic Senses. Senses? Yeah, that's their name. Got so many windows up here. Nanobits. This is all this music's on SoundCloud. I go through like all the content that I usually play is within the last week of coming out. So it's always brand new. It's hot off the presses. Probably never heard before. There's usually only a couple hundred listens on each song. So if you want to check out the total list, go to SoundCloud/NickTheRat/likes, or just go to my website. You go to my website, and you could also donate a whole bunch of money there if you'd like to help keep NVIDIA happy by ruining my show. I mean, wait, what? Okay, well, let's just get the big thing out of the way over here. I don't talk about politics on the show. I'm not gonna start talking about politics on the show because I'm not allowed to vote. I'm a rat. They see me in the polling place, they throw me out. They're like, "Get out of here, polling or whatever." So I'm not allowed to vote. So I don't really have any rats in this race. But what I do hear on the internet is that either China or Russia will be running the show soon. So that should be interesting. Either way. The only other some cool things came out of this though. New Jersey has legalized recreational marijuana. Get a round of applause for maybe I'll go to New Jersey again. I heard it's going to take like a few years for them to actually get this all up and running. If they were smart, they would start selling tomorrow. But, make all that money. Hop, skipping a jump away from New York. I could go right on over there. In Massachusetts, right to repair, I think it was a Bill 1. It's in play. It didn't get voted down. It didn't get shot out. So a lot of giant companies like Apple and some other repair shops, mostly Apple, I think. There's a lot of Apple's money. But there were some other people involved. But they were like, yeah, we're going to sponsor these commercials that make it look like there's a very bad person breaking into your house. And it's because you're letting repair shops and people look at source code and stuff. Oh, yeah. Just because they're making it harder for people to do legally, they think it's going to be harder for people to do. Yeah, so they spent a lot of money to try to get people scared, and they had a big loss. The giant corporations go right to repair. Yay. That was cool. I like that. It's right to repair. If you don't let that happen, the whole leasing world becomes even more prevalent. It seems like everybody's leasing everything these days. You're leasing your house. You're leasing your everything. People lease their computers, I'm sure. I used to work near a place a long time ago called Rent a Center. Rent a Center. And I was just like, well, that's weird. And now pretty much everything is Rent a Center. Too bad they didn't make money off of what they were doing. And finally, the last part of political stuff tonight. I'm gonna have open lines. I'm just gonna let people call in and talk about whatever. I don't really know politics. Well, but unless it's something like sort of like this. Oregon has legalized everything. Every hard drug is legal in Oregon now. I wonder what this is. The extent of that is. I've never been to Oregon. What is Oregon known for? Do they have like trees or something? I know there was a trail. There was a game and a trail, and a lot of people died. It's like a desert. Is it Oregon a giant desert with dead? I forget what you call it. The people that travel across. That the people that traveled from the east to the west. The trailer people. The settlers. Is Oregon filled with horribly dead settlers? Pioneers? Whitey? Is there a lot of dead whiteys up in Oregon's deserts? I don't know what they have down there. I've never been to Oregon. I'm sure it's nice. I'm curious what's going to happen with this, though. We'll see. But yeah. So tonight's pretty much no holds bars. I got a couple of things to talk about. Is it no holds bars or bards? Like if you're playing D&D and a bard comes by. No holds barred. No holds barred. No holds barred. In wrestling with no restrictions on the kind of holds that are used. Wow, I'm so dumb I didn't even know I was making a wrestling reference. Imagine if I was making a wrestling referee reference. Now that would yes we do wrestle Oscar. I'm a brown belt in touching people. Oh, it's also used to convey that no rules or restrictions apply. Okay, either way. What's I sometimes I go off on these tangents. I'm sorry, but what's that one? Can't pale, no pale. Beyond the pale. So I thought beyond the pale meant this is like that Star Trek episode with Tanagra where they did battle. Beyond the pale is I thought it was like paling, like bailing out of a ship. If the ship was getting sunk, you can't. It's beyond using a pail to bail out, but apparently not. Apparently the pail is like a foxhole, a trench ditch that was in Britain or some shit. I don't know, some European place a long time ago. Yeah, Darmok and that razor company. So yeah, there's a lot of sayings out there, and there's a lot of stuff that we don't really know or think about. And boy, oh boy, I know of a way that you could find out about a lot of stuff. But I'm going to talk more about that when we come back from this break. We're going to listen to some more music, and then we're going to come back and just the lines are open if you'd like to give a call in and talk about anything. Mostly anything. And if I don't like it, I'll just hang up. I think there's also like an open hole going. I think the Discord chat's working if you want to hop in there. Or you could call me at 917-719-5923. Or you could just chat, and I'll chat with you in the little chat. All right, we got a wild generic cat appears with another world. That's a great sounding song right here. Let's give it a listen. Whoa, that last thing looked like a sandworm or something. Yeah, if you're not watching the video of this, you're not experiencing how Nvidia fucked me with their driver's been crashing. It might be I don't know, whatever, but it usually does like a fake green screen for me. If you're not in the world of video, you don't know how annoying green screens could be. I used to have the back of this sewer plated wall over here that's covered with like a disgusting green sheet. It was great for the green screen, but it did not impress the ladies. I'll say that much. It was very much a it made deserts, not desserts, occur. If you know what I'm trying to say. Let's have a little bit of wine here. Oh yeah, maybe a little bit more. Oh, that's probably good. Okay. But I prefer to, fuck it, whatever. We'll fix it later. It doesn't matter. Also, if you're not watching the video feed, you're also missing the trippy milk drop effects. Man, if you want the best effects for your music and your especially if you like drugs, you definitely need to get Winamp. It really whips the llama's ass, and then get just go to the visualizer in there and play some music through it. I think you probably it's a good time. Man, Winamp should start selling milk drop in Oregon. Go do drugs, kids. Have a good time. You only live until you stop, and drugs might stop your living quicker. So whatever. Don't do a lot of drugs. Limit your drugs, kids. Please limit your drugs. It's getting hot in the sewer. Usually the reason that I started. Okay, Illuminati has really corrupted my brain with this origins of things and stuff. It's making me think about where things started from and stuff. And I've been looking at some weird stuff lately. That's all I could say. The last episode we did was it about hell? We're talking about hell. There's actually a literal place where people would throw people into like a burning garbage heap. And that was known as hell. I think that's the most literal sense of it. It would be a burning tire fire with people in there. Oh boy. It's not a good time or place. But wait. We got donations this week? You could donate to Nick the Rat Radio by going to nicktherat.com and going to the donate button and then clicking that sucker. Or you could also subscribe on Twitch. You have a Amazon Prime account? Give me that free $4 a month. Well, actually, after I get taxed on it, maybe it's more like $3 a month. But it's free. So that's good. It's kind of like a little communist Amazon society. Jeff Bezos' giant eye floating over all of us, watching us. I know what you bought for the past 5,000 years. It's scary times. Very scary times out there. Jeff, imagine you're just laying down in a grass and you look up and you see Jeff Bezos' eyes flying there talking to you. Fear not. I'm just Jeff Bezos' eye. That'd be a sight to see. Let's see here. Do we have any donations? Let me go through the... Diane, can you streamline this for maybe printed out with the dot matrix printer? Thank you. Yeah, I know it eats trees, okay? But it would speed this up. It would make this better for the listeners. You gotta make your sacrifices sometimes, you know what I'm saying here? Oh, we gotta don't... Whoa, holy cramp. What the... Diane, let's buy an industrial-sized printer. Yeah, we just got to...
No, printers are the worst.
But with the amount of money that somebody just donated to me, I think I could buy a big one. Diane, is that sewer pipe over there free? All right. Okay. Look at this one. 300. What's 300? 300. That's $33,000 and 333. Anonymous, please. Happy Rat Vember. This is like a patron saint, if I had a ring, a night ring to give to this anonymous donor, I'd give it to him. It's weird too. This is a very strange donor. I think there's somebody working for the government listening to this show. Might be my handler. Who gives that much money to somebody? You know, Pokimane wouldn't allow this type to happen here. Sewer Knights. Tell me more. Did he have grease in his hair? Let's see here. What else do we have? We have another donation here from a BS with a 420. Thank you so much for the 420 subscription there, BS. Welcome to the sewer family. We also have AN with a 420. Welcome to the sewer family. Welcome. You could talk about anything down here. You could even talk to me about anything down here. I think there's somebody in here. Is that me do S?
Medwez?
Meddues?
Oops.
Is that... Are you getting any feedback in the open hole? Sometimes these things echo.
I'm getting a lot of crackle.
Getting a lot of crackle. I know. Oh, how did I fix that last time? It's a issue with Discord. Da 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 da. I'm crackling. Oh yeah, I had to skip going through there. I had to go directly through here. But if I do that, you're not going to hear the music in here. Too much to think about. It's a lot of crackle, though. I know what you're talking about.
Audio is a pain.
Yeah, it is. It's a pain in the tuchus. Gosh darn it. Hold on, I'll make it.
Do I sound good on the stream?
Oh, you
Jack?
sound great. You sound great. It's here. How about now? Is this better? Oh, it's probably just totally gone now. Hello? Hi? No? It's... Oh, crap.
Welcome back.
Yeah, but you don't hear me now. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Well, the...
I don't know if you can still hear me, but I can't hear you.
No, I know. You're not going to be... the Discord is dead. If you want to reach me, you can't use Discord for now because there's going to be
No
crackle.
worries.
So I'm going to disconnect from there. Sorry. Yeah, there's definitely some issues with audio all around. There's issues with audio. There's issues with video. You think by the year 2020, we would have this all settled. But we could go back to technology like Winamp and listen to Joe Lever with lo-fi guitar.
You're listening to Nick the Rat Podcast, straight to you from 1928, by way of 2017.
Unmute that fucking tab.
Welcome back to Nick the Rat Radio, where where we're having a great time breaking stuff. We're just gonna hold on. I gotta move this over here. There's so much involved with computers. It's pretty amazing they work. They're like magic. Imagine having something that connects you to the world in your pocket that you could use while you're defecating anywhere. Well, except if you're like in a woodsy area or a forest. But if you're like if you're defecating in a bathroom, I'm sure you're gonna have a connection to let the world know that you're going out to dinner for Thai that night. You could also send them pictures and videos of it. And technology is getting pretty wild these days. I keep hearing about there's two parts of technology that it looks like we're reaching for right now: quantum computing and that other thing. Fusion reactors. There's been a lot of news lately about both of these things. Now, the quantum computing part, that shit's bullshit. It's not real quantum computing at all. It's complete baloney. I was looking into it. It's like, oh, I keep seeing these articles. I'm like, oh man, every day I'm like looking at the news and quantum computing. Look, there's some fusion reactor stuff. Yeah, D-Wave. I looked into this D-Wave over here. It's not really. They are getting funded though by a lot of large people. What's that? Z. There's large. They got a lot of contracts going. That D-Wave. I love that D. But the quantum they're using only solves math in a two-dimensional plane or some shit. It's not a true quantum experience that they're providing. And there's an article that came out recently. It's like, oh man, they're going to be helping out some fucking grocery store. I think that's what they're doing. It's like some weird little grocery store like hired them to tell them the best way to line up produce or how they could route their some shit. Hold on one second. I got this here link. I read this earlier. Whoa. Hold on one second. Ow. Ooh. Oh. All right. Let's go through here. Let's go through the controversial stuff about D-Wave. To begin with, what is known and uncontroversial. D-Wave is not, nor does it pretend to be, a general purpose quantum computer. So, right there, why do they have the right to say they are a quantum computer? Oh, we're going to sell our quantum computer to people, But just to let you know, it's not a general purpose quantum computer. D-Wave can instead solve a subset of quantum computing problems known as quadratic, unconstrained binary optimization QUBO quickly. All right, so basically it looks like these people built a processor that could solve a math equation better than other computers can. But it's not really... they say they use qubits, though. Anyway, theoretically, the class of QUBO problems where D-Wave can outbeat classical computers is known to be those which are large, sparse, and not diagonally dominant. Okay. It just sounds like a bunch of catchphrases. It sounds like a bunch of like, oh, the tail fin on your car and the color red with the flames will make you go faster. It's... Okay, so what is controversial? Let's go through these. There's some other stuff in there too, what it does. Maybe we should go through it. Theoretically, the classic QUBO problems where D-Wave can outbeat classical computers is known to be those which are large, sparse... Oh, I already fucking read that. Anyway, there's another one. I'm not reading it. They're selling it. D-Wave. It's a little... Where's that clip? I need Dvorak telling me that quantum computing is bullshit. It does seem like a bunch of catchphrases. Maybe they could do some things faster, but is it worth the amount of money? And is it really quantum computing? No, it's not. So good luck to you guys, and maybe come back next time. The fusion, it seems like we're actually closer to fusion than we are closer to quantum computing. There's a, I think they're British, they're European. I'll be ignorant. They're out there. They're over there. MAST upgrade device. It's a magnetic bottle to hold a fusion reaction within it. They said that they actually sparked the beginning of a fusion, but like they had the reaction happening, but it burned to it's like 10 million degrees or something. It's some really... I wasn't able to find video proof that they did this, but they are apparently in the game of building a magnetic bottle to hold the fusion reaction within. And they said that they have created a fusion reaction like 2 days ago. I don't know. Maybe that's why Halloween, the blue moon ended, craziness began because of this fusion reaction. Who knows? Bunch of hootenanny, maybe. But I think we'll have a fusion reactor before we have a quantum computer, personally speaking. To me, quantum computing is kind of like artificial intelligence. It's a catchphrase because artificial intelligence is kind of like saying hot, cold. You can't have, I don't know. It'll never really be intelligent unless it was like another species of creature. I guess that'd be cool. It'd be weird, but I don't think humans have the power to do that. Personally speaking, now. Anyway, we should maybe listen to a voicemail. 917-719-5923. Oh boy, we have a lot of voicemail. Sounds like Dr. Zayas. Okay, well, why?
What were you doing the day you found out Fort Falco was killed on the highway?
Wait, what?
I was working at Ticketmaster and had to leave work. I was trying to.
Who? Who was killed?
Our Americans are looking.
All right, that's intelligible I don't know what the hell that person was saying. Oh wait, I had do not disturb on. I just turned it off. It's almost midnight in the sewer. The voicemail. You could call in now live. Oh fuck. People have been trying to call me and they've been getting my voicemail.
Hey Nick, I just had a question about your
Oh boy, I don't know if I can handle listening to that right now. Maybe I could.
If you ever want to get... Sorry. If you ever want to get together, I heard you like mayonnaise.
All right, no, I can't listen to that. It's like a cursed voicemail right there. Phone lines are wide open. The problem was there was too many people calling in, and I have a blocker. Once there's more than about 100 people calling, I have the line shut down. But I took that off. So if you're like the 101st caller right now, I will pick up. What else is going on in the world here? Oh yeah, fusion energy by 2040. Pretty cool. I think we'll get there. Diane, where's my weed? Well, we're gonna play some more music right here after we listen to this voicemail. From my doctor.
Well, shit. Nick, your goddamn stream cut out pre-stream when you were talking about should you restart the thing. Well, I'm looking at 11:21 right now, and I think, fuck, you might as well better. So by the time you play this message and understand and realize that your stuff is all bullshit, maybe you should learn to fucking listen to your doctor and quit drinking, goddammit. And that weed, well, double up, brother.
No. I'm hearing the Dr. Zayas voicemail had some more in there. Hold on one second. Let's go. Oh my god, that's not it. Where did that go? Hold on. Oh, here we go.
Not my radio.
Oh, here we go.
Hi.
Oh crap. I hate my fingers. They just touch buttons. Hold on.
Or...
Nope.
I'm...
Nope. No. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm not going to turn down my radio. Not my radio. I just wanted to thank you for hosting Tina's DJ Slave 1 for stream, rating her stream at the end of your show. For, I don't know, I think it's been 3 straight weeks at least. Incredible. I really appreciate it. She deserves that support, and you deserve loads of support. Droves. Minions? No. Loyal subjects. Stewards and Sterling. Yeah. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween. And a very magical, moony, powerful, and spectacular, horrific, beautiful, illuminating Samhain. Halloween, all Halloween. Wonderful show, by the way, on Wednesday before Halloween. Really quite incredible. As are you. Happy Halloween. Take care. Bye.
Well, I'm happy that I replayed that there. I cut it off right before it actually got to. That was Dr. Zayas, though, right? Dr. Zay. I thought somebody was trolling me with that song there. Yeah, DJ Slave 1. It's fun to watch on Twitch. I feel like I'm back at the goth club is doing the goth sway, drinking some rum and cokes, listening to some Depeche Mode. Yeah. Ooh wee. Okay. Well, we are having a nice, relaxing Wednesday night together, everybody. I should discuss something here. Something that I found to be very important. It popped into my mind, and I was like, I really have to share this with everybody. The Heimlich maneuver. They don't really tell people that you're kind of like a balloon, and your throat is kind of like the anus of the balloon. That when you hold it and it squeaks with. But I think if they described people as balloons, it would be less strange to do the Heimlich maneuver, because you have to imagine the frame and the body of the person, not really as a person, but as an object that you could squeeze and shoot things out of its throat. I think that's pretty an important thing to think about. Let's listen to another song over here. We have NCMFYT Midnight City. Midnight City. Cyberpunk? Oh man, that was NCMFYT Midnight City. I dig that. I liked it. What I don't like is my inability to work my video stream right now. I don't know what's going on. But if you're listening to this, you don't really care about the video, which is the most important part. I think the separation of visuals and audio are sometimes important. I really do like to be able to listen to something without needing to see it. I think the visuals are just like an added a bonus. So that's what I'm using. The visuals are just a bonus. I want to really tickle your ears. Either way, that was definitely a fun track. I liked it. Once again, SoundCloud /NickTheRat /likes, or just go to nicktherat.com. You could find all the stuff there. Like right now, if I was partaking in the show, I would rather be doing something else. I don't want to be watching Milk Drop, even though, boy oh boy, watching Milk Drop is fun. Sometimes you're watching that thing and you see like these weird patterns in there, like kind of like an angel. Like, do you ever think about what angels actually look like? I'm sure there was a couple with oh man, I usually don't talk about religion, but I was looking into, because of origins and things and stuff, and Illuminati was talking about hell, and I was like, well, what about angels? Like, people see these things. Nobody's ever seen God. Apparently God is not for your eyes. It's NSFE, not safe for eyes. But he sends carrier pigeons and all that other stuff down to talk to people. And so I started to look into angels and stuff, and I fell into a weird hole of things. I don't know if this is if this, maybe people don't want to talk about religion at all, but I gotta talk a little bit about most angels that people see. Is this true? I don't know if this is true. If this actually is, I don't think I've ever really read the Bible. Just going off of kind of what I saw on the internet. But is there Malak and Seraphim and Ophanim? Are these real terms that are found in the Old Testament? Because I don't know I don't know how much this actually does relate to the Bible. And cherubim, cherubim, cherubim. But the more you look into religion, it's kind of like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. It's pretty strange. It's not just people running around with wings. It gets really strange and creepy. It's very. Have you ever played Final Fantasy? I think Final Fantasy gives very good depictions of what angels might have looked like when you're fighting like the last boss in the earlier, boss battles are kind of like heavenly deities in Final Fantasy, and a lot of stuff that they portray in there kind of reminded me what I was looking at when I was looking at these very strange angels in the Bible, and what angels were written to look like. It was blowing my mind a little bit. And then I did hit a wall. If there are any Bible specialists out there, and you could sell me some spells, let me know. Now, one thing confused me about the Bible when I was looking at these angels and stuff. They were discussing Lucifer Now I might be totally wrong in what I'm saying here. So if you know more about this, then let me know. But I'm just gonna go down this quick path of Lucifer. He was an angel. I'm guessing Malak, and he was made to look like people, and then he tried to take over because he had pride. There was like a deadly sin involved, and then he turned into a dragon. And then at that point, I'm like, where in the Bible timeline did this happen? Because and it looked like it was in the New Testament, like later on books, segments of this grand story. It seemed like the whole war between the angel. It's so bizarre to think that there was like that people kill people over stories such as these. Perhaps I don't know. I might be being totally disrespectful. I hope I'm not. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm drunk. But the confusing part for me still is Lucifer turns into a dragon. That all happened. That was in the New Testament. But then apparently, because of all this, he was banished, and then he became the serpent and talked to Adam and Eve. But I thought the Adam and Eve and the serpent was the Old Testament. So how could the new stuff happen with the old stuff? How did Lucifer turn into Satan in the New Testament, but in the Old Testament be Satan and fuck up Adam and Eve? If anybody knows about this, hello, caller.
Hey, it's Rick. I just wanted to comment a little bit on your making confusion on Revelation. It's a book that when people saw it, if people had read it back then, they would have viewed it in apocryphal language. They wouldn't have viewed it as a literal transformation of Lucifer into a dragon or anything. These were all metaphors, and they were all meant to comment on social predicaments of the time.
But was Revelations in the New or the Old Testament?
Supposedly, it was written on the island of Patmos, which John got expelled to. He got kicked off there, or he went into voluntary exile. I don't remember, but I think he got sent over there because he was being a pain in the ass to somebody.
Do you know how many hit points he had?
He had negative 500. So because he had negative 500, he had to get his hit points back up. So I think he went around and maybe took some mushrooms, and it's kind of like he ate these mushrooms, and they gave him hit points back, and he also got to write this book that we're discussing now. Every generation has translated it for their time. I know the Eastern Orthodox Church doesn't even really deal with it. In fact, Revelation, my last point, almost never even hit the canon. Neither did the book of Hebrews. Not Hebrews coffee, but Hebrews. So it's all metaphor, and you can read into it what you want. Modern day Christians can read into it an idea of it's literally going to happen. But all the times that people have thought God was coming back, and he ain't here yet, so maybe he will, maybe he won't.
I'm confused about the timeline though, and like the New and the Old, because I always thought like this is how this is what I think, which is probably, but it's got to be wrong because I have no idea. But I thought there was like the Old Testament, which was a whole bunch of books that were used by everybody, right. And the Jewish religion stopped at the Old Testament, and then the Christian religion started writing more stuff like the New Testament and stuff, which was like more volumes to the manga series.
Yeah, yeah, the Jews would consider like the body of the whole Testament like the Tanakh, the first 5 being the Torah. And
was Adam and Eve in
know,
there? Was Adam and Eve in?
Yeah. Adam and Eve was in the Old Testament.
So when
and
did was Satan and Lucifer? Did Lucifer come into the New Testament and then he's related to the Old Testament?
Okay, he was viewed. The earliest book that was written was, they think, was a book of Job, and in that, Lucifer was this. He was like he was a court accuser, so he got to go back up to heaven. He goes up to heaven. He says, look, God, your servant Job. He goes around, and God, he has all this stuff, but if you take it away from him, he'll turn against you. So God does all this bullshit to Job, and then he gets to talk to Job, and basically Job asks him why he's doing this. He goes, "Where were you when I made the earth? Shut up, slave." and then he does. He goes, "Oh God, you're awesome." So by the way, he kills off like all his sons and daughters except for one, and he kills off all his servants except for one so that they can go back and tell him. But he gives him like 4 times as many sons and daughters and everything else. If I'm Job, I'd be like, fuck, okay, that's great, I have new ones, but what about the ones that I had before? They're fucking dead. Fuck you, God.
There's
a
trial.
book that makes fun of that.
Well, also back in there's like a whole age difference thing. There's a whole bunch of weird, but I'm just still curious about Adam and Eve and the serpent and Lucifer being.
It never says. Here's the thing. In Genesis, it never says that the serpent is Satan. All it says is the serpent being the most cunning of the animals in the garden.
Okay.
There is, by the way, there are 2 creation stories in the beginning of it, but it's really fucked up. A lot of Christians don't realize that. But
there's 2.
It never once says that the serpent is Satan, and nor does it say that the fruit was an apple. The word that's used can mean, apparently, as I understand it, because I don't speak Hebrew, either apple or fruit.
I thought it was a pomegranate.
But it could, and what are those things? There are these really bland tasting fruits that they used to feed the slaves. They were called breadfruit.
Breadfruit. All right,
yeah,
caller, you're lying to me
God.
now. I'm hanging up on you. Here we go. Breadfruit. That sounds way too carby for my taste. Let's listen to a voicemail over here. 917-719-5923.
Hey, Nick. Happy birthday. Happy Halloween. Oh, shit. Got a scary story for you. Spooky. Actually more of a thought and a question here. What is your dominant hand, primary hand that you write with?
I'm a righty.
Okay.
Okay.
What is the primary hand that you eat with?
My right hand, unless like it's bread or something.
Or like hands-on
bread
food,
fruit.
like sometimes
you
don't want to use fucking chopsticks because that's a fucking joke. A fork was invented, and otherwise, hell, my fingers are just as good as a goddamn chopstick. Right?
No,
anyway,
hold on
so
one
yeah,
second. I gotta pause this here. You know what's good about a chopstick? You can't poke yourself with it unless they're really sharp and got splinters on them. But other than those 2 factors, you could because like I was never scared of like jabbing a tooth or breaking a tooth from a chopstick, but a fork,
That's covered. Now think about the last time you number 2'd. You had to go take a shit,
Okay.
blow it out, whatever you do.
Okay.
Even in the sewer. I know it happens. I mean, not just bathing in it, but yeah. So, what hand do you use for that?
What hand do I use to shit with?
Okay, so that's pretty fucking gross. Yeah, a little bit of ATM action, huh? Ass to mouth, not the automated teller machine. Well,
All All right, everybody, let's listen to a song over here. We have Zambeat Journey with Miambo House. What? I just smoked so much. Weed. Oh man. Hey. All right. Okay. That was Zambeat Journey with Myombi House. I'm sure Duodenum has a link to it. I'm back. This is Nick the Rat Radio. We had we're having a lot of technical difficulties over here. It's because October's over. I do like November's okay. You know, Thanksgiving is a decent. You know, you get a day off from work. We've had about 8 months of days off from work this year, so you never know what's going to happen. It's man, I really shouldn't, but let's have a little more wine here. All right. So, I would hate to say the word "so," but I did already, and I already brought up religion, and I'm still going to talk a little bit more about religion and angels because they're pretty crazy to think about and how they're what they're supposed to look like. We're going to get a little bit into that. But have you ever thought about life as we know it? When did life on Earth start? Also, like evolution, like we're just the creation, new things running around. Imagine, in our lifespan of 100 years, let's just say it's 100. My dinosaurs, give them back to me, my dinosaurs. Humans have been around for a long time. A long time, supposedly. These are just stories too. These are stories that we're told. We've been told these stories, and how many Neanderthal skeletons do we have? And then there was that Lucy. We found one skeleton that was like in between a human and a Neanderthal. Apparently, it was a couple of 100,000 years, 200,000 years. Oh, I have my my dates wrong here. I think I might have wrote this down because I was looking into this too. Oh, here we go. Life on Earth is billions of years. The oldest potential Neanderthal bones are dated 430,000 years ago. To our knowledge, 430,000 years. There were people running around. There were things running around. Stuff was happening a long time ago. And the weird part is stuff evolves. It probably does evolve. Like things don't just pop out of nowhere, but well, they do. I guess sooner or later, but at one point things just popped out of nowhere. But then evolution happens and things change from something smaller and they get bigger and bigger. And we witness that today in our own lives via viruses, etc., etc. Things that replicate really quickly. We could see the change happen very fast. But at one point, something has to change, even in like a creature. Like there must have been a divide. Like at one day, you know, like something jumped out of the water. Like, oh, one day I'm getting eaten from something. When I look outside, I get my head bit off. What if What if today that happened? Like, I look at the sewer, and then something evolved that day, and it bit my head off. You know, amphibians and crustaceans. And what if there was a thing that evolved today? Not just like a virus but like what if there was a, I guess that's like the X-Men, right? They're like the mutation, and then like, oh, then Magneto comes along. Well, even the religious writings have evolved, and Dungeons and Dragons has evolved too. Things evolve and build off each other. There's a clear path. You know what? There's not a clear path to Nick the Rat Radio. Let's listen to a voicemail.
Hey, hello from Spearfish. It's me, Stillwater. You remember? Anyway,
Who?
I think at this interesting point in our lives right now, I got to talk about a little bit of my family history. Because I don't know exactly how many of your listeners know about this, but my dad is a practicing Lutheran pastor. And he did it for all the right reasons, too. And it's all because of what my Grandpa Kenny did. And I'm trying to leave off as many specifics as possible so I don't accidentally dox anyone. But
don't dox people.
My Grandpa Kenny, he was a manager at a Cenex gas station for his living. They used to be able to do that. You used to be able to support a whole family just managing a gas station in a small town in South Dakota. And I know this sounds strange, and it's like, what the fuck is the point of this? I'll tell you what the fuck the point of this is. Because this story is the reason why my dad decided to become a Lutheran pastor. And it was because my dad, back when he was just a young pup, just working his first job at the gas station, he remembered seeing...
What the fuck is he talking about?
One of the old regulars come into work there. There too many times, but it's okay. Hey, also, I'm pretty drunk right now because that's how I go to sleep to get up in the morning. But anyway,
drinking a lot of wine.
Yeah, you can throw comments in there. That's cool.
Oh, that last caller he had a lot of biblical information.
There was one moment where my dad saw that one of the regulars came in.
I wonder if Stillwater's dad get called.
His teenage son was killed in some sort of accident. I can't remember if it was some sort of car accident or if it was a farm accident. There's a lot of farm accidents that happens out here in the Dakotas. But
what did that was the... Hey everybody, well, welcome back to Nick the Rat Radio. We're celebrating 1240 EST 11/5/2020 right now. Well, at least I am. You're probably not celebrating that time and date, but everything feels like it's It's falling apart. But when that starts to, when that feeling feels, when you feel that feeling, you should also realize what feels like it's growing. Because things are growing at the same time stuff's falling apart. And you should try to grow stuff. Creation and destruction. You can't create without destruction. Like, you need pieces to put into something. So you could find the pieces that came from. Don't let good destruction go to waste. Don't let good destruction go to waste, people. Like Star Trek Discovery. The first episode sucked. The first 2 seasons sucked. First episode of season 3 sucked. Then the second episode was pretty cool. The third episode began to suck again. It was like in between the suckages on that show. So I hope I'm not spoiling the Star Trek Discovery. Okay, you know what? I don't want to talk about something new. Let's talk about something old. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm still going through it. I'm still in season 1. These vampires, I'm not allowed to say this, but I'm going to say it. They're retarded. The vampires in Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show, written by Joss Whedon in the 90s, they were straight up retarded. Okay. The last episode I saw, they're trying to kill Buffy. Of course, the Voldemort sends out only 3 vampires to get her. My best 3. What? You have a whole fuck ton of vampires down there, sir. Send them all. You know where she lives. You know where she goes to school. Well, I'll send 3. Okay. I like the show, but some things about this show is just bad. They send 3 vampires to get her. She runs into her house. It's like 8:30 in the evening. You know, she just got out of school. She was shooting a crossbow off in the library. Nobody gives a fuck there's a crossbow in the library. Yeah, you know, this is fucking Sunnydale or whatever the fuck they are. They're shooting. There's a whole. They do all this crazy shit in the library. Like there's nobody there. If I was in this school, I could smoke weed and have this podcast in their library while there were kids in the school. It would be like 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock. It'd be like 1:30 p.m. in Sunnydale. Nick the Rat is in the library. He's just smoking weed down there. So these vampires, they try to kill her. She runs into her house. They can't go in because she ran in there. Now they know where she is. They know she's like 15 or whatever the fuck she is in the show. She's like a teenager. And then they leave. They don't stay there all night because they're fucking idiots. Then her mom comes home and she's like, "Oh, Mom, come on in." Oh. And then these vampires, they leave before the day is even over. They didn't even wait till 10 o'clock. They're like, we were sent by Voldemort to kill this girl, and it's on your neck. This vampire is gonna murder the head vampire is gonna kill the 3 vampires he sent there if they don't do the job. If they don't kill this teenage girl, he's going to kill them. They chase her into the house. And that night, they leave. As soon as she closes the door, they leave to go to get killed. Buffy it's great. It's a great show. You should watch it. We got King Camden with "The World Is Weird Sometimes." We'll be back with more Nick the Rat. Hello? Hi, everybody. I'm looking at the chat room over here. It's getting crazy down here in the sewer. We're talking about Bible spells and evolution and science and the history of... Somebody just mentioned angels up here and how they're Lovecraftian. They were... So the cherubs... It seemed like all the angels were pretty much... I'm going to be very, very drunk. This is... The angels were God's dwarfs. They're like dwarfs from like like workers. They just did shit for God, and they were more powerful than dwarfs. They were just fucking. They were like they were weird. They were fucking some weird shit. So cherubs I read had a face of a human. Then they had like two like a lion's head and an eagle's head and some other head. They had heads on their head, and they had these wings, and they had these fucking... They were shooting lightning balls at each other and shit. There's like 4 of them flying. They were all part of like God's car. God would fly around in this car that had these cherubs with that had these heads and these wings and these electric things. They were like the first step into the whole It's weird shit. Now, I found out all about this like 20 seconds ago. So I'm still kind of freaking out. And it might be cool to read some more about it. Would it? Cherubs, man. Do you think they're little fat babies that shoot you and make you horny? They shoot you with these little Viagra darts. Now, Viagra darts, that's Diane, right? Viagra dart. Yeah, let's sell some of those. 917-719-5923.
Oh my God, darling Nikki, darling little Nikki. So I saw you masturbating in the lobby of a hotel, and I would
Viagra
just
darts.
tell you, that's all some dumb shit, motherfucker. Anyway, yeah, so you were talking a couple episodes back about, you just mentioned an Old English and orange juice. It's called a brass monkey.
Brass monkey,
I
yeah.
was like, God damn, I'm 22 years old. And I've never had a brass monkey in all my 22 years.
You're old as shit.
Anyway, I was like, damn, I gotta try that shit. So I had a procedure on my back. I'm fucked up, man. It's hurt. And so they were doing facet joint, your spinal. I've had spinal tap, surgery shit. Injections. Anyway, good shit. So I finished that. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm about to vomit. And they're like, would you like something? Blah, blah, blah. And they offered me an orange juice. I don't like sweet shit. Nothing. None. So I was like, oh, fuck. Fuck you. Get away. Give me a water and orange juice. They brought me a damn 8-ounce little can of orange juice. So I was like, fuck. I'm going to have myself a brass monkey in a week or 2 or 3 or whatever the fuck. So I bought an Old English high gravity. They don't have 40s anywhere. I've been checked like 3 spots and no one has the 40 anymore. They have the Deuce double can. So I bought a high gravity Old English, like, well, if I'm going to dilute it with orange juice, hell, I might as well have the good one. I guess. Anyway, fuck it. I'm talking a long time, and I've got an Old English high gravity, 800 milliliters, I guess. How do they call it 800?
Exactly what he's talking about.
8% alcohol. Hey, ding, ding, ding. Anyway, Old English 800 Deuce can. I'm going to go have a good time. I'm burning dirty fucking wood out here because goddamn, what's the name of that? Xena? The Warrior Princess? Recent Storm? Zeta, I guess. The Warrior, Storm.
And Gabrielle.
Anyway, fuck it. I got a lot of pine fallen and dropped, so I'm burning dirty fucking wood. Fuck my neighbors. I want someone to come and talk to me because I love confrontation, bro. I live for this shit, alright? I'm loving this.
That's a thing? I'm thinking you're older than 20. If you know about burning pine trees as being a way to get your neighbor to talk to you and yell at you, I don't think his age sounded off there. Now I am very intoxicated on the wine right now. But we still have some more show to go here. It looks like Lavish knows Lavish in the chat. Looks like they know a lot about the Bible. They were talking about the Ark of the Covenant. Now I always thought that was something in like Indiana Jones, like the Holy Grail. What is the Holy Grail? Is the Holy Grail like section 3, chapter 25 of book 90? When does Jesus and I was about to say Leviathan. I mean Diablo. when does Jesus and Satan move in together into the same house? Is that book 420? More voicemails. Oh boy.
Hello? Hello?
Oh dear God, no. No voicemails right now. They could make a sitcom out of the Bible. That would be pretty cool if they did actually. They what's that monkey on the cloud? Monkey on the cloud with the stick. He's been in a lot of TV shows, that guy. The Monkey King. The Monkey King is like an Asian Jesus. Am I totally being unfair right here? It's all coming from not knowing anything. But the Monkey King, he's very, very popular on TV. There's stories about him. Like I've seen him on TV. I guess I've seen Jesus on TV, but I've seen Monkey King on sitcoms. I've only seen Jesus in movies. There's like a weird disconnect. I hope I'm not offending anybody here. I'm really talking just straight out of curiosity. Because I'm a very curious person. It's like even society could evolve. Not only does molecules and people and creatures evolve, like culture evolves. One day something's cool. The next day too many people's doing it. The day after that it's illegal because too many people are doing it too much and they're not doing what they have to do. And then the day after that, it's there's people crying over it. There's like, oh man, the government's involved, and then the day after that, you forget about it, and then it disappears a little bit, and then there'll be a little subsect of people that might start doing it again, and there'll be a group to protect those people from being harassed by other people. So the one day cool is now fool. And then that becomes bell bottoms, and you start wearing suspenders. I might start trying some suspenders, actually. I think belts might cut off circulation in your waist area. Sometimes you might tighten them too tight. It's kind of like when you put if you put your shoes on too tight and you cut off some circulation, it's just to your feet. But if you put a belt on too tight, I guess your heart is the origin of. I was about to say, does your torso die or do your legs die? No, your legs die because your heart's up here and your legs are down. Let's do another song over here. It's 1 a.m. We got Tree X with Electro House Project. Let's get this party started.
Hey, motherfucker.
And in the morning to Nick the Rat.
Nick the Rat!
Anyway, I'm going to get this party started.
Unmute that fucking tab. Yeah, motherfucker. You're a badass motherfucker.
Well, welcome back to Nick the Rat Radio, where I'm pretty toasted right now. I'm feeling pretty good. When I feel good, have you ever gone to like an attraction in like a village? Have you ever been? Is it a village? Like when there's not many people in a certain area, it's a village, a town, a township. Have you ever been to an attraction in a town that's like possibly in its off season maybe, but there's still people working there, but there's nobody else there? Like I forget where I was, but it was like a Christmas town type thing. It was like a hamlet maybe. I'm definitely toasted the rat right now. But it might have been upstate New York somewhere. It was like a little Christmas town they had. It was like, oh, there's even a map. I felt like I was at like Six Flags Great Adventures. I had a map. I'm like, ooh, I want to go over to this area to see this thing. I don't know if it was Christmas. It might have just been like a little weird village type fucking thing. 'Cause there was some, I think there was some crystal shops there too. I don't know why there would be crystal shops in a Christmas town. Might have been Might have been the Twilight Zone, and I did embrace it, and it was fun to get drunk there and run around. Caller, have you ever been lost in the Twilight Zone?
Not in the Twilight Zone, no. I've been to like a Christmas town like you're talking about.
Was it during the off season and there was not many people there? Or was there a
Maybe
lot
one
of people?
time because there's a Christmas Michigan in the Upper Peninsula.
Wait, I'm talking about like Christmas the holiday with like elves and trees and.
Yeah, but this would have been in the middle of the summer that we were there, so it would have been the off season for Christmas, wouldn't it?
No, I thought you were talking about you were in a town called like Christmas, Idaho or something.
No, it's Christmas Michigan.
You were in Christmas,
But it was-
Michigan, in a Christmas themed shopping center
Town.
outside.
It's kind of like big now because they have like a big, huge like Indian casino there now. Or I'm sorry, Native American casino.
So it's an Indian Christian Christmas casino.
It sounds about right.
There was snowmen and Indians and gambling.
It's gonna make one hell of an angel.
Do you know anything about these angels? Do you know about the Ark of the Covenant?
No, I know that was in the Bible though. There's like the first 3 movies of Indiana Jones contained a lot of biblical like actualities.
Do you know what the Holy Grail is? Because I didn't look at that at all.
The Skull one, I don't know what the hell that is.
Apparently, the Ark of the Covenant is like a lazy boy for God to sit in. But I don't know what the Holy Grail was. Was that like his cup? Did he pee in that? Was that his spittoon?
It was the cup of Christ, the cup that he was baptized with, I believe, or that Jesus was baptized with.
What? Jesus is like 2 inches tall? They baptized him in a cup?
I guess. I don't know.
Dip him in
They
there.
you pour it over their head or whatever. You know?
Oh, I thought you had to dip him in there. Did you ever see the little baby being baptized and the priest or whoever that's doing it is dunking him kind of hard, and then they play the Lebowski clip over it? Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money? And they're dipping this kid into this fucking thing, and he's.
It's definitely Catholic. They like the abuse.
You should look that video up. It's pretty funny. I was watching that recently. The look on the kid's face is like, what the fuck is going on?
Welcome to Catholicism.
Caller, were you baptized?
Yeah, I was.
Do you remember it?
No, hell no.
Are there pictures?
Catholic, so I don't know.
Do you think? This is going to sound wrong, but no, it's not going to sound too wrong. It's a question. I could pose it as a question, so it won't be wrong. It'll be just a question.
No, it's like every Catholic is a recovering Catholic, pretty much.
Do you think technology and the future is destroying religious practices? Because when I saw that kid being baptized and they put a big Lebowski over it, I was laughing my ass off. But do you think that because there's more and more, would you want your baptism video to be public on the internet? And would that cause you to not get baptized? It seems like I think technology is stopping people from doing stuff sometimes, especially in the religious terms. I think.
I mean, because like certain religious Christian sects of religion do baptism later in life, like the Baptists usually get baptized when you're like 14 or something like that, I think, if you're in it from when you were a kid, you know. Whereas like Catholic, it's like a week or two after you're born, you can be baptized, you know. And if that's on the internet, I wouldn't give a crap. Because like when you got older, who the hell's gonna recognize you? Like, do people even recognize like that girl in the back seat that makes that weird?
Yes, they do.
Weird face.
They
or,
definitely
or the,
do.
Or the Daniel at the dentist or whatever. Do like people recognize him in public? He was young when it happened, so.
Yeah, I guess my question's falling apart. Actually, now you're making a
think
point.
that- I mean,
it
do you
happens
think
all
that-
the damn time, and technology
Yeah.
is not stopping it.
Yeah. But and I say my point is, do you think it like affected them mentally throughout their life, like Daniel at the dentist? And,
Maybe when they're 14 it did, but not when they were an infant. No.
yeah, you know,
Like, do you remember your first memory?
my first, yeah, kind of. I mean, I do, yeah.
I think
the
I was.
earliest memory that I can remember is my grandfather, and he died when I was 3 years old.
So you have like a 3.
My
I think I
great-grandfather.
have like a 4 or 5 year old memory when I was 4 or 5. I think that's
And beyond that, the next lucid memories were in 1976 when it was the bicentennial of America, and we went to parades after parades after parades after parades that year. When you're a kid, young like that, I think I was, what would I have been, like 4 and a half, 5. But when you're a kid going to parades like after parade, it was kind of like overwhelming back then. So it's something that like sticks with you because it was like something that you never saw again. I thought it was going to happen every year after every year like that. We were going to go to parades every year in the summertime, but I think in that year, 1976, we went to, I don't know, like 7 or 8 parades around the 4th of July that year. It was insane how many parades that they had like everywhere around town. So.
It's when there was the booze and stuff was free flowing.
Oh yeah, yep. I always remember they always had guys on little tiny motorcycles that were driving around. They're like these big fat guys on big little tiny motorcycles, and they'd have the little fez hats on and driving around.
You know what? Okay. I was wrong that it's not technology ruining stuff, because that point that I had with technology and baptisms did not go anywhere. But insurance has definitely ruined a lot of stuff because there's no more little bicycles and parades. I think because of insurance.
Because of liability. Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, liability. Like,
I
this
wouldn't
person
doubt
was
that.
on a motorcycle in
And
your
the dude-
parade, and you don't have insurance.
And the dude's protection is hat made out of cardboard and some like felt
Back in the 70s, this guy on the bike might have been naked, covered in motor oil, and that would be fine. But today, you can't do that no more because of insurance and liability.
I always loved the naked motor oil guy.
I always try to hug him, but I'd slip right off.
It's right. and he was always gone. So.
Are ponies still legal? Do they still like bring ponies to kids' gatherings? Is that?
Yeah, as of like 10 years ago, yeah.
I never rode a pony. I was always like, you know what? I think I'm gonna pass. Even when I was a kid, I was like, you know what? There's a pony there. I think I'm good on having somebody sit me on that motherfucker. Doesn't look like
Yeah, because you never know how angry that pony might be.
How long do ponies
'Cause they
live
could-
for? Do they like live shorter amounts than horses?
No, they eventually turn into a horse.
Ponies turn into horses? You're lying to me. I'm thinking ponies are kind of like a what is that mutant, the mule, like a donkey and a horse. They have a zebra. Wait.
Donkey and a horse. That's a mule.
Yeah, the mule is the horse and a donkey. They have the mule, right?
Yeah.
I thought for a second right now, I thought a pony was like a horse and like a midget horse had a kid and it was a pony. I thought it was like I thought a pony was a creature, not just a baby horse.
There is miniature horses, yeah, that do, that
Oh,
always
thank
say
God.
small, but there's, like a pony is technically the term for a young horse.
But there are small horses out there, right?
Yeah, it's like the Shetland ponies and.
Wait, and they call the small horses a pony. Okay. I'm really, I don't know what's real anymore.
Yeah, or Shetland horses. I think they do call them like Shetland horses.
Gene Witch is screaming Shetland pony.
Sounds about right.
Life is weird. Do you ever sit back and just wonder how weird life is? Like, when we're growing up, life is weird because we don't understand it. And then when you get a little bit older, you're like, I get it. And it's still fucking weird.
Even when you got perspective on stuff, it still doesn't make sense.
It makes no goddamn sense at all. It's pretty fucking strange. And history too, like people claim to know what happened 300,000 years ago, and plus even more, like billions. Like, I know what happened a billion years ago. You know how fragile history is.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened yesterday, but I understand that there's evidence of things that have occurred that can't be disputed, and we use our best estimate to figure out what this evidence leads us to. But we have to be wrong in some sense. We can't know everything. It seemed like humans. We didn't know much. We started off kind of like middle ground, like 10 years before, 10 years after. And then they were like, you know what? I know what happened billions of years ago. And now it seems like they're starting to say, I know what's going to happen a billion years from now. Wait, no, not a billion. A couple of years from now. We're all going to die.
You think they've kind of just accepted like the close enough theory?
Yeah, for the past.
We're close enough.
Like, where did the moon come from? Where did the Earth come from and the sun? It's from the Big Bang. There was a little bit of something. It exploded, and it became stuff.
Created the planets and the stars and the sun.
But then, what the hell exploded? What was that?
Apparently, the sun has been burning for a hell of a long time.
Well, yeah. It must be like a billion.
Good wood.
Yeah. Well, it is. We do see stars. Time is very strange. It's very strange. Like our lives are nothing compared to a sun. But where did the sun get that stuff to get the energy to burn? It's burning. It's just burning. Man, if I was a pyro, I'd probably stare at the sun and burn my retinas out and have orgasms every day. Like, that's amazing.
That seems extreme.
Well, you got to go all the way.
I wonder if there's an angel for that.
Oh, do you know about the cherubs? We already talked about the cherubs, right?
Yeah. No.
What about
Why do they hang the cherub? There's always cherubs that they hang on Christmas trees, like old timey Christmas trees.
But that's like the Greek version. After Caesar, they fucked everything. They was like, we're gonna kill you. We're gonna steal your ideas and sell it back to you slaves. But in the Bible, the cherubs were like kind of like a Cerberus, like a multi-headed guardian of shit. It seemed like.
Before the time of the
Of
Roman
Cupid.
Empire?
Before of Cupid. Cupid, who made Cupid? Because current...
Hallmark, probably.
No, Cupid was out
No, I
before
mean, like, the
Hallmark.
image we see today is probably made by somebody like a Hallmark, but
Well, yeah, Cupid
I'm
might
sure
have
it was
been...
meant something different.
Cupid. This motherfucker. He's mythology. Mythology is Latin. Yeah, we were talking about dead languages. I don't even know where I am anymore.
Yeah.
Are people listening to this?
To
Yes,
Latin?
I
I don't know. Well, the Latin was kept alive by the church or whatever.
Well, you know, there's Latin lives via words that we use today.
Oh, yeah. A lot of our words are, most of the legal terms are derived from Latin. You know?
Who do you think made the first word? Do you think the person that made the first word killed people, or do you think they were good people?
Probably like dropped something on his foot. That's what I think.
It must,
And it
it's had
became
to
like the first word. That's probably what happened.
It probably was grunts. It's languages. How the fuck did?
Have you ever seen an old movie? There's an old movie called Caveman.
I think I have seen that when they fight dinosaurs.
Ringo Starr was in it. Anyways, that's kind of like where they have all like the starting of that.
I have to watch that
Where
again. I think I have
somebody
seen this.
first starts talking is when somebody gets injured. So when they express pain, that becomes the first words.
And from that's like a Cro-Magnon man, Neanderthals, and they evolved
Yeah.
into
Well,
humans, and they think humans and Neanderthals lived at the same time.
What would they consider cavemen, though? Because it's really not like a scientific term, so to speak, of cavemen, is it?
I guess it might have been.
Either
You know what?
Neanderthal or
They just say stuff. They just, you know, we found a skeleton. We're gonna say this. It's like Dungeons and Dragons. Still, it's like we're gonna. It's first edition D&D. We're up to 5. It'll be 6 later. We'll keep changing.
You said something about somebody in between Neanderthal and whatever we are today.
There might have been.
I remember them finding that. That was like a year ago or so, or something like that. That they found something.
Well, they found Lucy.
That was in between.
I think Lucy was the missing link, but then they found something that was even like older than that. It was so weird. Like,
well, that dude encrusted in like salt or something like that. That I remember. I remember seeing it was like really creepy because it was like he was encrusted in some sort of like, or like what falls from like a stalactite or whatever, like substance that falls from like a cave, because it's all out of that one cave in like France or something. Wow. But they find all these old bodies that are maybe, I don't know if I'm thinking of the right spot.
I wonder if anybody's ever faked it. Like they just carved a femur out of a wall. Like, look at this shit. We found a fucking femur.
Look, I found them.
Because most of the stuff that are in museums are replications. They put it on display, but like at the Museum of Natural History, most of those dinosaurs aren't complete.
Oh, the bones are, yeah.
And not only are they not complete, the stuff that they show you aren't the bones. It's like a copy of them. Like, we found a hip of something, and this is the rest of it. Here you go. That's it. Like, how the fuck do you know what the rest of it looked like from just the piece of the hip? I'm not saying, okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm a science denier. Fuck it. I'm going all the way. No, I believe in science, but science is able to replicate something. You have to be able to do it over and over and over again. I can't replicate fucking dinosaur.
There's always sketchy edges of everything, so there's definitely sketchy edges in science.
Well, I think real science doesn't have the sketchy edges. A real science experiment is something you could do over and over. Replicating or building a dinosaur, like the full body, just from looking at a piece of the fucking hip.
Pretty much. That's what I always. Yeah, that's. I remember when I was a kid that they had elaborate like pictures on the walls in the elementary school of dinosaurs, and I wouldn't doubt like half of those probably they figured out didn't really exist, at least.
Don't doubt anything. If you doubt anything, they'll kill you. You know how many times I've died already? I've been murdered several times.
Like once today.
4 times this episode.
That'll happen.
It will. Like, does it? If I said what I just said, like if I don't know if those dinosaurs were real, do you think that I should be removed from society?
If you didn't think that those dinosaurs, no. Why would I think that?
Well, because a lot of people would be like, "What are you, stupid? They're in the museum. You could look at them." But then I'm like, I don't know what's real anymore. I don't know what's real.
Find like they find the pinky bone and then they replicate this whole dinosaur from the.
Well, yeah, but I think that's just like.
Or they find like 3 or 4 bones, I should say, and then extrapolate everything else.
They have found complete skeletons, I think. Actually, have they?
Yeah. Oh no, they have. Yeah.
Complete dinosaur skeleton. August 27th, 2020. Close up at last. First complete dinosaur skeleton ever. Did an article come out this year about the first complete dinosaur skeleton ever?
This year?
I might. Oh, I don't. I'm very drunk right now, and I really.
No, I mean.
But here, look at that article.
It might. You know what? I mean, it wouldn't be the most shocking thing that came out.
It's one of those little dudes down there, and they colored him in, and put skin on him. But yeah, that link right there.
I've heard stranger things in 2020. Then this would be the first dinosaur ever found.
Complete. But look how old dinosaurs were. They were like, what, 30 billion years ago? Is it?
Yeah, what's with that thing, too? It's
or
like
is it million?
That thing's like a relative of the porcupine or something.
Like my mother-in-law right there.
There. That'll happen.
Quick run. No, like it looks like an ankylosaurus or something. But either way, there's stuff that exists so long, 193 million years old. Holy shit. That's old.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think that would have fell apart by now.
Well, it becomes it turns into like the Rock, apparently.
Well,
and
I mean, like,
and
yeah, I guess,
it.
like, I guess it depends on where they died. Like, if you died in the right spot, your remains are still around.
Do you imagine how many creatures died in the wrong spot that we don't know about? There must be so much stuff we have no idea ever existed.
Well, no, we know about spots like where we use them to power our vehicles.
Well, supposedly, organic matter becomes oil, and plant matter. Wait, plants become coal, and because I said organic, but plants are organic.
Yeah.
Greasy stuff becomes oil, and plants become coal. How do they describe that again? What?
I think carbon.
But everything is carbon, and coal is carbon.
Yeah.
Does coal
Yeah.
become oil?
Well, I think coal can become oil over time. I mean, if it's like, I think there's like almost like a tar that they can pull up from coal mines. I thought I'd heard of that in the past.
Because I know dinosaurs become oil, but how do what is it, from their flesh or from their bone? It's the
I don't.
Do they
The
melt?
pressures and the time.
I know it's over billions of years, supposedly,
Yeah.
but also I heard it might be microbial, and there might be some. It might be farts. Maybe it's
Like a mixture of stuff over time. That
we don't even know.
In a certain area.
We don't know what is making our cars run to deliver us our packages every day. We don't really know.
But yeah,
we claim to know. It might be true. Maybe I'm totally wrong.
No, which has changed over years.
Do you believe in peak oil?
Peak oil. If I could get a peek at the oil, I would.
Oh man, that caller just got disconnected accidentally because of that joke right there. Let's listen to Zayfall hovering.
I'm trying to go harder than I ever went, dumber than the precedent, faster than the Rari. Yeah, I'm ballin' like I never spent money. I'm a Cheeto, blow up C4, trying to get it smothered like I'm talking about burritos. Burrito, burrito, like I'm talking about electronic, burrito. 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 Burrito, burrito, like I'm talking about electronic, burrito.
Welcome back, everybody. We're having a great episode of Nick the Rat Radio where Nick the Rat gets hammered and asks questions that should never be asked. The unaskable questions. Like, are dinosaurs real? They definitely, there was something that existed, but do we really? We don't even know what's at the center of the planet. We can't drill down into the core. We have we send vibrations down, and then we use math to say, hey man, it's vibrating like iron. Or nickel. Is nickel core and iron core. There's don't get me wrong, math is usually right. And Einstein did a lot of great. Actually, if there was like a religion of Einstein, I'd be part of that, because he did so much physical, repeatable math. But it's still, you know what? Even Einstein's math was kind of like clicking the "I'm not a robot" button. It's repeatable, it's provable, but it's still easy in the sense of atoms and physics. I'm not saying what Einstein was doing math of was easy, but it is, because it's real ish. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not even real. I'm so drunk right now. But like, his math was repeatable. Like there was stuff that he's like, oh, I can't prove it, but I'm gonna say it's real. Like gravity causing things to spiral, kind of like the Earth is spinning and there's gravity on Earth, and he wasn't really able to do a test for it. But he said that as Earth spins and the Earth has, it's so big, it's got gravity, that there's like a spinning. I think it's like on the poles of gravity, and we were able to put a satellite above the Earth, and I think these satellites started to spin with the Earth. There was like so he predicted all this, and he had the math for it, and it checked out with the experiments we ran, which is a very believable science. But saying that I found a chunk of bone, there was a green creature that ran around here and sounded like a dump truck, is a little bit different. These other angels, let's look at this last one over here. There's a few more. There's like a couple. There's like 4. I talked about 2. There's the human-shaped ones. Then there was the cherubs, which are like the hybrid. Might be the first furries that ever existed. Then there were these seraphim. They had 6 wings. 2 of them flew. 2 of them hid the rest of their body, and 2 of them hid their fucking genitalia. They had like golden legs that hung, and there were possibility. These stories were. These people were witnessing aliens. These writers or storytellers were high on drugs. This really happened, or just story, just story. So either it happened, but it was a hallucination. It might have happened, and it was aliens or supernatural stuff, or it happened as they describe it, or it's all just complete baloney. That's up to us to decide and to feel for ourselves. So the seraphim would go around. They'd look like they were on fire. They might be related to snakes. There's also a lot of different books, because like there's the whole Old Testament. Apparently the Old Testament for the Jewish people is like 20 books, but for the Christians it's 26. For another sect, it's more. And then there's like the King James. They translated it. They changed it. There's original writings. Who deciphered these original writings, and how did we? Is there any translators out there, like Hoshi on the Enterprise? So yeah, they would go around and just screaming "holy" at each other. They'd just like "holy, holy," and they're crazy looking creatures. They're not even like human looking. Gee, this shit's weird. It's real weird. All right, are we done with the show? We're almost done. We got more voicemail.
Hey Nick, standing here with my dick in my hand.
Oh no! Hell no! Hell no!
Look, Nick, as a born and raised Mormon child, let me just tell you that everything you've ever read in the scriptures or scriptural doctrine is complete fucking bullshit.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, the father of the guy that died that time, the first place that he went was right to the Cenex gas station. And my dad said that he remembered that he was talking with the guy. This was a macho, tough guy, too. And he was the type of guy that would be like, you could stab him right in the chest and he'd be like, what? Blah. And yet, when he learned that his son went through this horrible thing, it was a car that ran over his head, basically. Like, my grandpa was the first person that this dad wanted to go and talk to. And my dad always told me that was why I became a Lutheran pastor. And there's a part of me that lives on in that kind of same spirit. And I'm leaving this message pretty much to explain that if any one of you out there with a young family or with an older family or anything with loved ones involved, if you think that no one else will believe you, I will. If you're really in trouble, I will believe you and I will do everything I can to help you. Anyway, peace out, Nick. Have a happy November.
I've been told I have a recognizable voice, so that last voicemail was not medical advice. Okay, I love you, Nick. Fucking hell yeah! Your tunes you brought together my former classmates and former colleagues. They're just like somewhere fucking hard. Yo, Nicky Los. Last fucking show I was listening to. I don't know if it's your last episode because your shit takes so goddamn long to post. So I done lost track of which one I started to listen or which one was current. So I'm just listening to fucking giblets and like yammering yeehaw and all that bullshit. I'm like, what the fuck is this Yankee talking about? Well, fuck. Oh, you're talking about Damn river's drying up. Well, listen here. In the south.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna play that again, but we have a caller here. Hello.
Hey, Nick. Long time caller, but not recently.
Hi.
Hey, it takes 3 20-ounce bottles of soda for 375 milliliters of whiskey.
What? You could make soda into whiskey? Are you like some alcoholic Jesus?
You could make soda. I mean, yeah, you could take Coca-Cola Classic and turn it into whiskey, I guess. I mean, depending on your definition of whiskey.
Ugh.
You could definitely do alcohol.
It's the
Coca-Cola
sugar.
wine. I'm sure it's been done.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's probably pretty bad.
Oh.
Jim Beam, though. Jim Beam, not too bad in Coca-Cola.
Well, no, that's fine. Yeah, as long as you're putting something into it. But if you're making it out of it, ugh.
It's actually really hard to make clean alcohol, like drinking alcohol. Like if you try and do wine and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna distill this into brandy. It's actually a lot more difficult than you'd think. For any, I mean, even I think you need to do like a large volume. But yeah, so like if you put yeast in Coca-Cola and let it sit in a dark cabinet for a month, yeah, I don't think you could. I don't think it'd be very good.
Where did they get the yeast from?
Yeast is naturally occurring. I mean, I think the story goes that it was like in a pond or a swamp or something, you know?
But where do you get the, like, if I wanted to go out and get yeast out of nature?
I think it's commonly found, like I said, around ponds and swamps. I think it occurs naturally.
I would go to a pond or swamp and I would have to, like, sniff it out.
Yeah,
like,
use your nose.
This smell. Oh, this is disgusting. Put that in a bottle and let's make some liquor.
Well, do you think that like so like have you ever like smelled like bread when it's rising? I mean, that's just what yeast smells like. It's not the flour. That's yeast farts.
Well, this is true, but have you ever smelled yeast in nature? Like the first person to find yeast, how did they know to put that with sugar?
A lot of that stuff. Okay, so I'm not sure, but I will give you the story of mushroom tea, which I do know.
Ooh.
So tea has been around forever. I mean, evidently, like, you know, China's had it forever and so on. But they would brew tea, and then they just, you know, they sweetened it probably with whatever, you know, sugar beet or sugar or whatever, honey, and they just let it sit out. Somebody didn't notice it had been left sitting out, you know, a couple days later, 3 days later, a week later. They drank it, and they're like, hey, this is kind of fizzy. So, I mean, most everything is an accident like that.
A happy accident.
You know. Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't know why people weren't dying of sickness and disease when they drank mead and beer. They just, you know, knew that there was some correlation there. So they're like, all right, we'll drink beer. But it's because it killed all the shit in the water. The yeast killed it all. So, I don't know. I mean, it's all happy accidents all the way down.
Oh man, the only happy accident I had was that time that I wet myself. Caller, have you ever had a religious experience? Are you religious at all? I usually don't talk about religion on this show.
I'm actually an ordained minister, but we're not going to talk about that. And yeah, I have had a religious experience, and it was in the California high desert, and our car broke down, and we were 30 miles from the nearest place to even make a phone call.
Yeah.
And somehow we managed to coast a car the entire 30 miles without motor or having to get out and push it.
Oh.
I've never even heard of anybody coasting a car for 30 miles.
And without being able to do that, do you think you'd be able to call into the show right now today?
No, I mean, no. I tried 34 times to call into the Nick the Rat show, and I could never get through.
Oh, I know who this is now. I know who you are. You are.
Yeah, I just wanted.
Hey,
I haven't been listening, and I wanted to apologize. I've been super busy, with hurricanes and everything. I haven't even been listening to the other show, so I wanted to say, hey man, I'm glad you're still around doing podcasts and whatnot. And I know you wanted to get out of here, and I've wasted 10 minutes of your time, so I'm gonna let you go.
Wait. One more question. We're almost there.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of You're gonna help me. You're gonna help me get the hell out of here. Have you ever heard of the Ophanim?
Is that another chord of angels? Choir of angels?
The wheels, the giant wheels.
Is that in Revelations?
I thought it was in the Old Testament. I really am confused about where the stories all go. But apparently these are the wheels. They're like giant golden interlocking wheels with eyeballs all over them. And they follow the cherubim and the seraphim, and they're all like the wheels on my chair, apparently. And like if I was God, the cherubs and the oraphim and the seraphim would all be the wheels and stuff, and you'd see that, but not me.
So we can see you moving. We can see something moving that was very big that required these wheels.
That's
not
what
you.
I'm gathering that from that. That's what I think it sounds like. It sounds like God might be on a very powerful chair.
I guess it could be like a throne with wheels. Do they have wheeled thrones?
Yeah. I feel like I'm in one now. Shit's crazy.
All right, man. Take it easy, okay?
All right, get out of here, man. I don't.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye. I'm happy he hung up. I forgot where the hang up button was. The Pope Mobile. It could be something like that. Maybe that's what's going on with there. I don't know. All right, yeah, this is why I don't talk about religion on the show, because I don't know what I'm talking about. But I thought the angel things that I was reading about was pretty interesting. I always thought they were just like dudes with wings. Actually, are there any female angels? Oh man, I can't talk about this. It's sexist. I gotta get out of here. Oh, we have more voicemail? Do we have gas blast? We have gas blast. We have a lot of stuff, but I might push this off to next week. I have drank way too much wine. There are gas blast people, and there are voicemails, but we're gonna get out of here. I hope everybody's having a good time. I hope everybody stays safe. And make sure you keep the community in your sphere, your inner sphere, happy. Do onto those something. All right. Good night, everybody. We got James Wolf with "Enjoy the Silence." We'll be back next week with a show that's not going to break as much. Don't be a dick. Don't be a Wesley Crusher. you, Brinkmania. I don't think DJ Slave 1 is up. Ghetto Depeche Mode. I clicked the little stream thing. It's host/host. I'll do that anyway. Thank you, Breakmania. I try to question things constantly. I recently learned how to use the door in my shower. We changed studios recently, and the sewer studio over here has a huge tub. It's like 1 foot by 3 feet, and there's a sliding glass door on it. There's actually two. There's 2 doors, 2 sliding glass slats on the shower. So I was like, well, which side goes forward and to the left, to the right? You know, but apparently I figured out when you're outside the shower, you use the door closest to you to get it to where you gotta be. And then when you go inside, there's a handle on that door, and you slide that into the other position. There's no one position for it. It depends on where you gotta be.
It was like nobody ever saw me. Even I didn't know if I really... It was like nobody ever saw me. Even I didn't know if I really existed.
Arthur, I have some bad news for you.
You don't listen, do you? I don't think you ever really hear me. You just ask the same questions every week. How's your job? Are you having any negative thoughts? All I have are negative thoughts. But you don't listen anyway. I said, for my whole life, I didn't know if I even really existed. But I do. And people are starting to notice.
No killing animals! Rats have rights!